All right, now we can kick things off. Good morning, ladies and germs. It is July 21st, 2020, and it is going to be a great day. If you're watching live, please say hello in the comments. And if you are here for Capitalism and Coffee, please grab a cup or a mug or a glass or a chalice or a stein or a tankard or a thermos, a flask, a vessel of any kind, and join me for the thing that makes everything go better, including the stock market, including your business and your brand, including coronavirus. It's the simultaneous sip. Join me now. Go! Oh boy! Can you feel your net worth going up just a little bit when you do the simultaneous sip? You know that's science, because who you hang out with affects your net worth more than anything else. And since you're hanging out and sipping coffee with a bunch of greedy capitalists here inside the 1%, your net worth just went up a little bit. If you believe in quantum physics, then everything is happening on a vibrational level. And you sharing a coffee with a bunch of rich, greedy capitalists just put into the universe that your net worth should go up. So all of you who just joined us for the simultaneous sip, congratulations. You're just a little bit wealthier than you were 30 seconds ago. You're doing good. What a great way to start the day. Good morning, Charmaine. Good morning, Cece. Good morning, Trenton. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Trenton. Nate Trejo is here. Oh, I'm so glad that he is here. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Matt Ohms. Hey, Rebecca Turner. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me, everybody. So, this is fun. Today is the first day that I am joining you for Capitalism and Coffee while on Switch. Switch is my new brand that I'm about to launch. We're a couple of weeks out from releasing the brand. And as of right now, we're supposed to get our final prototype here in the next few days. If you missed the live where I explained it last week, we're launching a new brand that has 3 products: on, off, and out. So on Switch is the morning pick me up, get up and go, throw it in your coffee, throw it back, and it has nootropics and hormone boosters for serotonin and dopamine. And then there's off switch, which is a relax at the end of the day. And then there's out, which is before you go to bed, get the best sleep of your life. And those 3 will optimize circadian rhythms. It will help with anxiety. It will help with focus. And so today is the first day that I'm with you today while on Switch. So if you notice that I'm just a little bit sharper, a little bit more clever, a little bit funnier, and a little bit better looking, it is probably because of the on Switch that is circling through my veins at the moment. And so it's not even the final prototype. Final prototype comes in this week, and we should be launching the next couple weeks. And I'm excited to document that with all of you. I wanted to give you an insight that I use when I'm looking at businesses to both invest in and businesses that I am starting. And it is a lens and a filter that is the difference between collaboration and competition. Most people who start out as entrepreneurs are looking at competition, meaning what other people are doing and can I do it 10% better than them and thus beat them at their own game. That's competition. That's dog eat dog. That's fixed pie kind of mentality. I like collaborative businesses. It's why I like the term collaborative capitalism. That is, can I create something that makes your life, your business, your network, and what you are already doing even better, so that by me doing well, you also do well. And these are the businesses that end up being worth millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's very rare that competitive businesses break out and do extremely well, because you have to capture so much of the market share to be relevant that only a few people can win that game. It's why I don't like low-priced businesses. If you're going into business and you're competing on price, then you're competing on the worst differentiating factor. It's not a differentiator at all. It's just competition between 2 parties. But if you are bringing something new to the marketplace, for example, is there a market right now for powders that optimize your circadian rhythms? Not really. I'm addressing a specific person and a specific pain point, and it started as my own, and then we're bringing that to market in the form of Switch. And that's going to be the case with all of the business that we document here at capitalism.com. I am not interested in investing in or in advising businesses that are only competitive businesses. If you want to break out and make a splash, then collaboration, which is looking at what other people need and want and going out and getting that, is what will set you up in the best seat possible to build a 7 or an 8-figure business. There's several of you in the room that I would love to chat with. So Justin, it looks like you are in the room. I promised I would bring you out. You are in the weight room. I promised I would bring you in first. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to pause, pump an iron for a second. All right, cool. Let's do this. What's up, Justin? What are you lifting today?
Dude, I'm getting some back in there, some back and some biceps.
Good. And where do you work out?
Over here at UFit, man, in Miami, Florida.
All right, cool, man. Well, I got your text this morning with you saying that today is kind of day one on your journey, and I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to help to set you up for success.
Cool, man. Thank you so much. So I just finished reading your book, and I wanted to start today. I'm a youth soccer coach, and so I coach about 4 teams. I started a soccer club here in Miami a couple of years ago, so I have an audience that I want to really get to, and they're high school aged girls that play soccer. And so what I'd like to do is create a product for them, and I have a lot of ideas, and I've even been talking to them and asking them about like trying to get at those pain points and stuff like that. And so I'm like, I don't know if like making soccer cleats is possible, just because like it's such a saturated market with like Nike and Adidas, and I don't know if I could start like a whole new brand with that. So I mean, I wanted your opinion on that, but I also was thinking about like things that they use, like training socks and shorts, or like little like jewelry bags, like specific things for the girl soccer player. What's interesting is it's a lot of soccer is geared like towards guys, you know, and there's not a whole lot being done like for girls soccer, and you know, like our girls national team is like amazing.
Yeah.
So it's there, the need's there. I'm just having a hard time with the ideas, and then like they're already paying me for like my coaching. So how do I bring in something else like in the middle of that?
Yeah. So what I would do here is I'm thinking about how in my backyard I have this training net where I take cuts off a tee, right? So I'm swinging, I'm hitting balls into a tee. And it's just a way that I decompress at the end of a work day or relieve stress. But I've been doing it with my daughter too. It's a great way for us to connect. And since fewer people are actually going to soccer practice at the moment, I would be tempted at looking at things like nets and like stuff that people are using to train at home. Now, you could go even simpler and do shin guards and socks. I think cleats are fine. But I would be looking at, okay, what does the market, in your case, need right now? And I think that they're going to be doing a lot more practicing at home. They're going to be doing a lot more video instruction. They're going to use a lot more tools in their backyard. And I'd be looking at how could I release products to the market that make it easy for them to do the training that they would normally do in practice, but do it in their backyard. And I would set myself up to be the best in the industry at that specifically, because that will bring on a very specific target market and set you up to be a leader in that industry.
Got it. So the whole idea of like going like for girls, you think it should just be like male and female and open up even more within soccer?
Well, here's what you can do with that, Justin. You can do a lot with your advertising and your targeting. I mean, it's tough to make a girls brand because soccer gear is kind of unisex. I mean, you could change design a little bit, but I mean, a net is a net. Shin guards are shin guards. There's not a whole lot that you can differentiate between male, female. But you could do a lot with your advertising, especially right now, because there's still like this debate over women's soccer leagues. Mm-hmm. If your marketing is directed specifically toward women, then you'll be hitting a very specific part of the market, but your products won't isolate your customers. You can speak to a very specific group of people without isolating anybody else. Like, you don't have to say that it's my favorite example for this is Cliff Bar versus Luna Bar. So you're familiar with Cliff Bar and Luna Bar,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
So they're owned by the same company, and they're mostly the same ingredients. Cliff Bar, if you look at the packaging, is a dude who is climbing, and the packaging is mostly blue. It's dark. It's like a matte packaging. It's a very masculine package, but it doesn't say the energy bar for men.
Yeah.
Luna Bar is exactly the same, but opposite. The lettering, the colors, the flavors, the person who is speaking is a woman. It's the same product, but packaged for women. Now, I've eaten a Luna Bar. Have you ever eaten a Luna Bar?
Yeah.
Right, because it doesn't say don't eat this if you're a dude. It just is speaking to women. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
So if you go specific to the female soccer player who is an up-and-comer training from home, and you honor her and speak to her and serve her, then you will get those raving fans, and those raving fans will bring everybody else with them.
Got it. So yeah, I have like girls there right now, but I realize I want to get it like nationwide through Amazon and stuff like that. But I'm thinking in order to launch myself, maybe they can like buy the products in the beginning and like use them on their Instagram following and stuff like that to sort of grow things.
Well, so Justin, it is not a at first thing. That just happens right away. The minute that your product is ready, that will start happening. And then you will start going to soccer influencers and then other female athletes, and it will just start. So your job right now is to identify the 3 to 5 products that girl buys or that her parents buy for her when they are really set on encouraging this passion of hers, and you go make one of those. That's your job right now.
Got it. So training
Got it?
here is what you're feeling, like nets and like cones and really cool things like that.
That's right. Got it?
Perfect, man.
All right, man.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Thanks for hanging out with me. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. You too.
So things are so much easier when you have a very specific person in mind. You have that one person that you're focused on and how you can make their life and their journey easier. That's a collaborative way of doing it rather than a competitive way. Hey, Matt, you've been sitting patiently in your car. Give me a thumbs up if you want to come hang out with me in the room. Maybe. Matt, can you hear me? All right, Matt, whenever you are ready. Yes, I'm speaking to you, Matt. Whenever you're ready, give me a thumbs up, and I'll come. I'll bring you on. You can't hear me right. All right, I can't read your lips, but just give me a thumbs up when you is ready. I'm gonna go over to Mario. Mario, if you turn your video on, I'll bring you out here into the room, and I'll answer whatever you got. While we are waiting for these two gentlemen, let's take a look at something. So, last week I made a prediction. We should really start keeping tabs on Ryan's predictions to see what he gets right and what he gets wrong. But we made a prediction that the market would go up. Hi, sweetie. We made a prediction that the market would go up. I use big charts to be able to trade what is going on in the market. So we were right at 26,000, and I was saying the fact that it was crossing 26,000 was a sign it was going to go to 27 and then to 28. So that was a week ago. We're currently sitting right at 27,000, and I gave you 3 stock picks for the week. One of them was MasterCard. Let's see how MasterCard is doing. MasterCard is down today, but up for the week. So it looks like I was talking right at it at 300. And it has popped up it hit about 315, now down to about 310. I am holding it. I expect it to go to 320 and maybe a little bit higher. The next pick that I gave you was Visa. Visa has done the exact same thing. Popped up and is coming back down. I'm watching. Here's what I look for. So there's some training in your members area if you're a member of the 1% about trading options, and this is something I'm really geeking out on a lot, so I'm probably going to start talking about this more inside the membership. But something that my mentor, his name is Ryan, and I'm going to bring him on a coffee here in a couple weeks. But something that Ryan has taught me is to look for patterns when trading, and I look at this pattern here with Visa. Visa hits 200 and pulls back, hits 200 and pulls back, hits 200 and pulls back. So I'm looking at, okay, will Visa hit 200 this time and pull through? And if it does, then I'm going to buy a lot of Visa. The next pick that I gave was Facebook. Facebook, just like everything else, down today, but up for the week. So this is the one that has been the most flat since I gave the pick. And here's what I'm expecting. I don't know if I'm right, but here's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this to be a little bit flat and then pop up to about 255. So I'm trading Facebook as well. Let me take a look at my list. What else am I watching this week? I am watching Microsoft. That's one that I traded this week. So Microsoft had this big pop-up right here. This really big shoot up. So I noticed that it came back to 200, which is a line of support for Microsoft. It popped right up. So I did really well on Microsoft. Oh, and the other one that I was looking at was Home Depot. So Home Depot, whoops. Home Depot is HD. So Home Depot, I need to trade Home Depot today. You know what? I might make a trade live here today. While we're on it. We might do that for fun. Let's just do it. Let's just do that. So, I have been watching Home Depot for the last month and a half. I'm watching it pitter patter right at 250, and then it separated right here, and I was looking for it to break 260. That's what I was watching. Today it broke 260. So you know what? I'm just going to place a trade right now. So let's do this. So I'm not going to share my screen just yet. I'm going to log into my E-Trade account, and I'm going to make a bet on Home Depot. So let's switch this over. All right, so you can see my E-Trade right now. So I am going to shop Home Depot, go to options. I'm gonna, what's today, the 21st. So I'm gonna buy the end of August option at 260, $12. I think I'll do $5,000 into it. I'll put a limit price of $12. Oh, I'm in my retirement. Can't do that. Stand by. Stand by, everybody. Stand by. Stand by. Here we go. Don't leave. This is worth it. There we go. All right. Home Depot. End of August. 260. All right, so we can track my bet over the next couple days, see how I did on this Home Depot bet. So we're rooting for Home Depot to go up over the next couple days. We just put $5,000 into Home Depot. All right. All right. Mario, you are here in the room. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to come hang out with me. All right, let's do this. Good morning, Mario. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you. What can I do for you?
Well, we're actually thinking about doing a eco brand, and
You say an eco brand, like ECO, like eco-friendly?
right, eco casina, should I say? That's actually going to be the what we're thinking about. I don't know if you speak Spanish or not, but that's basically for your kitchen.
Yeah,
And so
great.
several of the lines that we're looking at is going to be cotton, washable cotton bags. We're thinking about silicone bags that you can also reuse and they're clean, washable. And we're also looking at mainly stainless steel straws, as well as basically they're all going to be just geared towards people that are going to be looking at those kind of things that are not so disposable. So just wanted to get a little feedback. You kind of put me on the spot. Wasn't really prepared for this, but
Yeah, well, you joined the room, my friend. So have you launched the brand yet, or are you still in concept?
it's all in concept.
Okay, so
Brand.
and are you the person that is are you your customer?
Yep. I
Okay,
am.
cool. And so the products that you just listed out, do you have them in your home?
The answer, no, we don't.
Okay.
But there's a caveat. The reason is because we've been living out of the country for 2 years.
Okay. So is there anything that you've got in your home right now that you wouldn't travel without?
Yes,
What are they?
it's a water purifier.
Okay. Anything else?
Mm, mm, I got a water bottle. I guess you can always say I have my glass water bottle with me.
Okay. Okay, so let me see. You just said two things that were both about, they're more about zero waste than they were about eco-friendly. Similar markets, but just there's a small nuance there, right? So I'm just going to roll with this for a second, Mario. So if you didn't have to figure out how, what would excite you more? Making the best water filter possible that people wouldn't travel without? Or tell me the other products that you were considering there again?
It's going to be a cotton bag that's washable.
Okay, great. So
Can you reuse it?
what would excite you more, a water system or a washable cotton bag?
Mm, I guess deep down, I guess you could say the water filter, but we don't. I don't know anything
So
about
before you butt
product.
me, the reason I asked that question is because what I want for you, Mario, is for whatever product you release to have the same level of excitement that what you would have if you were to launch a water filtration business, right? So it doesn't need to be the water filtration, but if it's like the cotton bag, I'm not sure, but it sounds fine. Let's see if we can deepen that a little bit more before we spend our time, resources, and energy on something that doesn't really light you up and that you don't currently have in your home. So if you can deepen that idea list of things that you would definitely travel with if you were living out of the country. So much so that because if you can crack that nut, Mario, now you're going to really like this. If you can think about products, your customer being the eco-friendly person that sometimes travels and lives out of country, which is really you, and it's the eco-friendly products that you would never leave your home without, now you've got a very specific target market, because there are plenty of eco-friendly people who feel guilty that every time they travel somewhere new, they have to buy a bunch of new stuff. And so you've got a few things that you travel with that you would never buy again because you wouldn't leave your home without them. And if that excites you, which I don't know if it is, I can't read your facial expression right now, but if that excites you, then it's a sign that we should deepen that list rather than just trying to come up with whatever product we think will sell. So talk out. I'm just ranting at you right now, so talk back to me.
All right, so I got to confess, this is my wife's idea, everything about it. So she loves everything to do with it. She found the products on Amazon. I've been to China a couple times, and so we're just gonna. I've got some connections, so I basically sourced all the products for her, and this is where we're at right now. Is I've already doing the price analysis just to see whether or not it's going to be cost effective for us. So,
Okay, so this is super common. One person is the excited driver and the other is the operator, and right now you're the operator, right?
Yeah.
So that's totally fine. If your wife is super jazzed about it, go ahead and move forward. I still want you to deepen your product idea list with the criteria of it being what products would really excite you. Because just saying that you're going to start with cotton bags is a fine start, but it's not a deep enough product list for you to have a $1 million brand. Your $1 million brand will come about when you've got those 4 products that create a well-rounded buying experience for the customer. And so you need to come up with at least 4 ideas that would serve the target market that you and your wife are after. And when you do that, then 3 of them will seem exciting and you'll start moving down the list. But I would not release the first product until you know what products 2, 3, and 4 are going to be at least in concept.
Understood. I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, what else?
I guess there's one other item that I also left out, and that was a polyester mesh bag. You use them in those instead, but it's a similar, idea, I guess, for instead of using the plastic bags or the paper bags.
Yeah.
So that was the other 4th item that I couldn't think of.
Okay, so tell me what the 4 products are again.
Silicone bags, right?
Okay.
You've got the cotton mesh bag.
Yep.
You've got the polyester mesh bags, and you could say a 5th one that we were considering was stainless steel straws and silicone straws.
Okay, so it's a lot of bags. I want you to take permission to not be a bag company. You're an eco-friendly living and travel company. You are not a bag company. It's important that I tell you this at the early process because there are lots of people who will sell a silicone spatula and then go, what the heck do I sell now? Maybe I'll do a glass spatula. It's great if you want to be a spatula company. And they're like, that's not what I set out to be. And so if you can't think of how to widen that, I would not move forward. But I know you can because you're the target market. So be mindful to not be a bag company. The example I like to tell with this one is if Dave Asprey had wanted to be a coffee company, his second product would have been a dark roast. But it wasn't. It was MCT oil. And then bars, and then butter, and then $15,000 retreats. And now he's a $1 billion company. If he had been a coffee company, he would have been a low 7-figure brand.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, you bet, man. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Good to see you. That was fun. What else? Home Depot is down since we bought it. So we'll track that over the next couple of days. You know what the other stock was that I was tracking is Procter and Gamble. Procter and Gamble. Let me. You guys don't want to see why I'm trading Procter and Gamble. You don't care that much. I know because your comments go quiet when I start nerding out on what stocks I'm trading. So I will not share my screen and show you Procter and Gamble unless you all demand it. Hey David Cohen, good to see you. Drew, thanks for hanging out in the chat box. Hey Brett, hey Summit, hey Cole, hey Alana, hey Gracie. Hey Dawn, I got your email, and I would love to chat with you about what you're suggesting because yes, we have considered what you've been outlining for a while. We just haven't had the person to go after. So if you are that person, we would love to chat with you about it. So I haven't responded to you yet, but I just wanted you to know that I got your email. Rebecca and Andrew and Trenton are all saying keep showing the stock stuff. All right, cool. So let me show you what I'm doing, what I like about Procter and Gamble. So this is the chart for Procter and Gamble, and I'm actually going to zoom out to a year on this. So Again, I am no expert on stock trading, but I'm trying to be, meaning like I'm learning a lot, and I have a mentor. His name is Ryan. I'm trying to convince him to come on a couple hangouts, and he's done some trainings inside the 1%. So there's some stuff from Ryan in your members area, and I have a couple other people that I go to for advice on this stuff. But one of the things that Ryan has taught me is to look for recurring patterns. So when I look at Procter and Gamble, Procter and Gamble has this interesting bounce between 115 and 125 here. Then 115, 125, 120, 125, 120, 125. This is coronavirus. Coronavirus goes back up to 125, back to 115, 120, 115. So we see this bounce between 115 and 125. What's interesting about it right now is it's right at the top of that 125, and you can see here today it broke 125 and went to 126. So that means that it could be breaking out to a new level, to a new high. It's possible. So let's zoom in some. So we can see here that it has been popping up right around that 125 mark. And so I'm watching this really closely. It popped up over 126 today. And if this confirms, meaning if this pops up again over 126 or goes to 127, then I will consider buying it and watching it rise. I've been an investor in Procter and Gamble for a couple of years. I've been a long-term holder of them. But in the short term, they look like they could be going on a run up, and so I might trade it. So stock trading is something that I kind of do for fun, and short-term income. And I have a lot of fun with it. Matt, you are back in the room. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to come live. He gave me a thumbs down. So I'll go over to Drew Hitchcock. Drew, give me a thumbs up if you want to come hang out with me. All right. What's up? It's the YouTube Ninja. What's up, dude?
So I've been like contemplating a lot of different things over the last couple months through the discussions of the website thing and that kind of thing. And I'm trying to figure out, I've got obviously the consulting side of my business, and I've been trying to figure out like what is like a product space or a website space that I could play in. And when we went through all the website stuff, the things that kind of like popped out in my notes in my journal were like talking about books and systems and, you know, those type of things. So kind of like taking the things that I do with my consulting and giving like practical application for them. So I'm on a side tangent. I've also got a book that I'm in the process of writing.
Nice.
And I feel like that book is very disjunct from like everything else that I do.
Well, what's the book about?
So the preliminary title for the book is How to Meet Your Heroes, a practical guide to creating relationships with the influencers you follow.
That's great. And are you writing it, or do you have a different process for it?
So I've bounced around writing it and talking it, rev.com, that whole process. I've got like this detailed outline that I've been slowly going through, but that's kind of been my experience, at least with the writing process.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out how I can weave the creation of the audience around, you know, the book ideas and the applications and creating systems and that kind of thing.
Yep.
So that when the book is ready, that audience would be interested in it.
I'm about to make you $1 million, Drew. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, some background and some context. The way I know Drew is has followed me for a few years. Drew reached out to me a few months ago on LinkedIn with a thank you video with no ask, just saying how I had impacted his life. I then found out a little bit about what Drew does. Drew manages the back end of YouTube channels, and we are now a client of Drew's. So that's the 1, 2, skip a few, how we got here process. But Drew did a great job of kind of like tap, tap, slowly. It took me a few months. Now I'm a client. Now he's on live, and I just endorsed him, basically. Right? So that's how we got here. Right? So you are absolutely qualified to write a book about how to meet your heroes and get in front of them.
Yep.
So this is your model, Drew. Your back-end agency, your agency is really your back-end. That's your VaynerMedia empire, if you want it to be. Where you will get to the point where your clients are paying you several $1,000s a month, and you take a piece of their ad revenue. That's your long-term model.
Yep.
Clients paying you $5,000 a month, and they're paying you 25% of the ad revenue. And if you've got a client that has 500,000 YouTube subscribers, which you will, then that will be a 6-figure client for you.
Yep.
If you get 10 of those, you're making $1 million a year. That's a great business. So here's how we're going to get there. That's your back end. Your very front end is a book on how to meet your heroes.
Yep.
The book on how to meet your heroes is really a book about meeting influencers, dream clients, and making great connections, which you are the person on. You're great for this. I'm going to suggest, for the interest of speed and consumption, that you don't write a book. I would make an audio series.
Okay.
An audio series that isn't super polished. It doesn't have to be. It's like an 8-part. It's like your chapters that you almost treat it like an 8-part podcast.
Okay.
And if you're not comfortable with that, you can do a video, or you could do it almost like an 8-part blog series, or you could hire Susan Anderson to interview you and turn it into a PowerPoint. Right? So I would make more of a series than I would a book, because people will consume it more.
Okay.
So I wrote a book for PR.
Yep.
Right? I wrote a book because I wanted it on people's coffee table. I wanted people talking about it. I wanted the PR. I wanted the interviews. But I have no delusion of my book being a significant income stream. It's a PR move, right? And I wrote the best piece of content in my life. It took me 18 months. And it'll be an asset for a long time.
Yep.
But if I were to cut that curve out, it would be an audio series that would record over a weekend, and I would get it up and ready for sale by next week. What you're missing is a middle piece.
Yep.
That middle piece, which could be one of two things. It could be a course on YouTube, which is boring but profitable. Or it could be a network of influencers. A network of influencers that when you join, you're now part of basically Drew's Dream 100.
Hashtag Genius Network.
Sort of.
I've already thought this through.
Okay. So and you get to be the puppet master behind all of these influencers, and you bring them together. And it could be in a Facebook group, it could be in person, it could be a Slack channel, it could be any number of things.
Okay.
Process out loud.
So it's funny because between you, Garrett, Chase Jarvis, the people that I've connected with, Joe Polish, it's been interesting because my work with Garrett has given me the leverage to connect with people like you and Joe, and then Garrett gave me a couple ideas why I have more than one copy of Chase's book. And being the puppet, I'm not sure how I feel about being the puppet master. I've always, me personally, I have always been kind of the man in the background.
Yep.
So I'm not sure.
That's what a puppet master is.
Well, but I mean, like, the puppet master doesn't necessarily, in the context that you created of like a genius network or a strategic coach type of deal, getting people of a certain caliber together. That is, I don't know if I'm.
So you are not putting together a mastermind.
Correct.
And you are not the front man. You don't want to be the front man. You want to be the back end guy.
Yep.
Back end guy has all the power anyway. Because without back end people, front stage people are on street corners sharing their message.
Yep.
So your play is to simply take your clients. This is how it starts. You take your clients and you put them in a Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, Garrett, you need to know Ryan. Ryan and Garrett, you need to know Chase. By the way, all of you should be doing collaborations on YouTube together because your presences will grow. I can help set things up. So I'm going to put you in a Facebook group. I'm probably going to invite some of my other clients and some of my other customers because all of you need to be doing collabs together, and it's going to help grow that presence a lot more. If you need help, I can set up the calls.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. And now I just got tremendous value as a client because now I'm doing a collab with Chase and a collab with Garrett, and all of our YouTubes are grow. You're like, hey, Ryan does these coffee hangouts. Sometimes I'm on them. Garrett, why don't you come be a guest sometime? Chase, why don't you come be a guest? Will you repost it on it'll be good content. I'll optimize it. And now it's a service that you're doing, but now you've got this little network.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can go to another client and you're to a new client and be like, hey, yes, I will manage the back end, but I also keep like a little pod of people. It's an extra fee. But I keep a little pod of my clients where I'll manage collaborations and bring people in. Now you start going to Instagram influencers.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, are you trying to build your YouTube presence? I have this little group of people. I charge $5,000 a year for it. I manage the back end. Oh, you want ongoing help with your YouTube? Cool, I have an agency for that. Then when you've got 10 people in there paying you $5,000 a year or whatever for this extra service, where you manage collaborations, now it becomes a public product that anybody can join for $5,000 a year. Minimum requirement 10,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this?
Taking notes.
You're not taking notes. It's being recorded.
Yeah, that too.
But you see where I'm going with this? It doesn't need to be you being the front man or managing anything except the back end. What a middle piece will do is give you a really high profitable, no work way to get a few grand up front for every client, but still add a really amazing service to the people who are paying you on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And if they don't want your help, they can just join this community for $5,000 a year. And at $5,000 a year, they can set up their own collaborations, and they can set up and now the people who are paying you every month, your job is to be in that community, be like, hey, this person would be a good fit for Garrett. This person would be a good fit for Chase. Let me set up these collabs. It'll really help his presence.
Yeah.
And that just sets you up as the ultimate back-end person. God, that's a good idea. Please do that.
I will mull over this section of video for the next week.
Well, you understand, like the only first move for you is to set up a little Slack channel or Facebook group for your existing clients who are growing, and set up a few collabs, get some results, and see if it's worth scaling from there.
Yeah, I mean, I've already partially been doing this. Like, so Garrett just did a recent interview with Morris Invest. He's got like 300,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
They jive very well, and that'll go live on Friday. So it's just a matter of like, how do I rinse and repeat that?
Well, I mean, you rinse and repeat it by having that video perform.
Yep.
And if it doesn't, going out and trying it a couple more times.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got this asset that you can take to other clients. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So let me know when you want to be on Garrett's podcast.
Whenever you want to work with Sue or someone else to set it up, I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
The book though, I would not recommend that you do what I did and take 18 months to do it.
Okay.
I had other things to sell in the meantime.
Yeah.
But this is it's a lead capture for you. And so I would do something like an audio series. And if you were to funnel hack me right now, we just punted our book funnel in favor of an audio series funnel. Because it's easier to consume. I don't have fulfillment costs.
Yeah.
And it's more in alignment with the upsell sequence, which we need in order to pay for traffic. So I would just take your information and don't be married to the way that it is that is delivered, and just get it out in whatever way is quality enough for you to be able to take a sale.
Okay.
And then you start a podcast where you interview your clients. Sorry, I can't help but.
Like the possibilities are endless. I'm sure.
I love your business. You should bring on an investor and an advisor named Ryan Moran. That would, and we can build a back-end influencer agency. Oh, that would be fun.
Do you actually want to do this, or
I would actually consider doing that. Yes.
Okay.
I would want to. Where do you live, by the way?
Cincinnati.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the irony.
I would absolutely consider doing that. Yes. I mean, you have to prove that it's got legs, but I would 100% partner on an influencer agency. What would need to happen is, God, I love that we're talking about this right now live. You're literally seeing the documentation of an idea. If you can prove out your model on my stuff, because we've been trying to crack this nut for years.
Yeah.
So if you can prove that out, and we're already starting to see some results, right? Like our YouTube's up like 30% or whatever since we started working together. So if we can prove me as the model, I can go out to like 100 people like me in my network.
Yep.
And convince 10 of them to come on as clients. Once they're clients, we now have an agency. And now I'm talking on the podcast about this influencer network we have.
Yep.
And you just got to be, I'll be the front end guy. You can be the back end guy.
There you go. And then we just leverage it for all the brands that you're investing in. And
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, I know if you noodle on this and decide it's a direction you want to go, I would absolutely consider partnering on that.
Okay.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
I'm glad I decided to just put on my big point pants and get on.
Note to Sue, you should have Nick edit this whole clip that I did with Drew here and make it Watch a Business Be Born Live or something like that title on an IGTV. We can jump cut that, and my conversation with Drew, we start a business live. Watch us. We'll come up with a title, but you know what I'm going for here. Thanks, Drew. Good to see you, dude.
Yep.
I think we just started a new business. We went over what stocks to buy. We helped 2 people cut the learning curve. I'd say this is a successful capitalism in coffee. Well, that was fun. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, because as you just saw, we're all in on YouTube right now. If you are watching this on Facebook and you're not a member of the 1%, come join us at capitalism.com/1. This is our community of capitalists where we work together just like you just saw. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I love hanging out with you a couple times a week. So I can't wait to see you again. Talk to you on Thursday. And root for Home Depot stock. See you guys.